Started. Okay. So make sure get to the countdown. Right.
Oh man, it's the chronic. Don't even worry about it.
DJProducts.com. DJProducts.com.
He's a men's rights activist. He brings a conservative point of view to black issues. His mission, to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project Studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, Jermain Botsio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation with me, your gracious host. And on today's show, you guys know what the deal is. I got the one, the only mind of Jamal on Double Barrel J Wednesdays. How are you doing here, sir? Jamal.
Can you hear me now, Jermain?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yo, Jermain, I just messed up. Jermain. That was my fault. I'm sitting up here trying to mess with some stuff. So Jermain, I get this. My bad, everybody. Look, I'm behind trying to get stuff done. That was my fault. My fault. I'm doing good, Jermain. How you doing tonight?
Man, absolutely fantastic. Let me tell you. I've been feeling good, doing good here in Minneapolis. Let me tell you, we're having, not in Minneapolis, but in the small town of Lamberton. We're having a lot of folks out here outside, hanging out. It's very, very hot. 75, 80 degrees. And it's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. When it's hot outside, let me tell you something. You meet a lot of folks. You certainly do. So, that's something that I've been trying to do for a while now, is get out and start meeting folks around the town that I just moved to, and get some good folks behind what we do here. How about you though? Everything good? I know the pollen's gone. I know you still have a little bit of
Right.
the heat over there, but other than that, everything pretty good.
Man, it was pouring down rain today. It's been pouring down rain here in North Carolina for a couple weeks, for a couple days, but it's been good. Me being HVAC and on the maintenance, I ain't got to worry about being called in because somebody HVAC is down. That's one of the best things, because last week I was on call, and one of the things about being on call is if you're on call, you got to come in and stuff like that. Well, if the air conditions are all working properly, because nobody's using them. Jermaine,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Yep. Certainly can.
Okay, just want to make sure. But yeah, that's all. It's been going good for me.
Okay, that's good then. All right, so it seems like we're rocking. We got everything here going smoothly. Absolutely. Very, very smoothly. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, oh please, oh please, oh please, do us a big favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. All right? We certainly gonna need your help. Certainly. All right?
Yes, please hit that like
Yeah,
and share. If you can't become a member of the show, hit like, hit share, and hit all top friends and stuff. Please do that tonight.
absolutely. And you guys know we're gonna have a fantastic show tonight. All right? We got a lot of good stories, clips, and news for you to push out. So make sure you guys do your due diligence. Brother, I'm ready to fly. How about you?
Yep, Jermaine, it's going good on my end. It says he's going good. I got the call. It's going good.
Going good. That's good. That's good. Let's go ahead and get rocking. First one up here, ladies and gentlemen. First one up. We're going to speak to you about ratchetness. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, ratchetness. In the white community, you guys got some ratchetness. You got some BS behavior. You're quick to call it out, and the behavior disperses, right? You're quick to add shame. Well, let me tell you something. In the black community, that ratchetness is there, and the shame isn't. It's not there at all. It's quite crazy, And I want to go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about. There's a viral video here that was sent to me by a very, very good follower. Shout out to Lisa Shapiro. I don't know if she's part of the Shapiros, but shout out to Lisa. She sent this to me. And it deals with two young black women who have an issue with each other. And they decide to handle this issue at a Walmart. I want you guys to take a look at this, and when it comes back, I want to speak about this. Because in this day and age, we see way too many stories like this. Way too many videos like this. It's so apparent. And there's not enough shame stopping these people from making these type of videos. Let me go ahead and run it. When it come back, we shall discuss it. Make sure you guys do your due diligence. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Here we go. Mm-mm-mm.
You got a whole face on right there. No, because I'm not gonna fight you with so
You finna tase him
I
off,
crack
baby?
this bitch head open with this bottle. Let that bitch pull out the taser.
Man, cream my shit.
Cigarette!
Coco.
Cigarette!
That sound like Cardi B.
Look at they wearing underwear.
Hey!
Look at how these black folks are dressed. Look at these black women are
My
dressed.
mama. Hey!
Oh my God.
Oh, you know what? There was
Oh, my
some
mama, don't
brief
jump
nudity.
in.
I'm sorry about that. Oh yeah, hyenas fighting. Let me go back.
No, because
This is hyenas.
Think you should have a
You
monkey
finna tase him
sound.
off,
Right
baby?
here.
bitch head open with
You
this
should have a
bottle.
monkey
Let that
sound
bitch pull out the
playing.
taser.
You should have a monkey sound.
Man, cream my shit.
Cigarette!
Coco. Hey!
Is one of them a dude? Is that a dude that's white man?
On my mama.
It's a transgender dude or something. Look how they fighting.
On my mama, don't jump in.
Oh my mama, don't jump in. How come it ain't never on young Negroes out there, the YNs as they call it? How come y'all ain't never saying on my daddy? How come it is always on my mama? And then when we notice you say on my mama, it's always a lie. Right? On my mama ain't do this. We know you lying when you say on my mama. Brother.
When you say on my mama, we know you lying.
Yeah, on my mama. On my mama, they lying. Let me tell ya. On my daddy. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys got done seeing this here, right? You seen the ratchetness. Let me go ahead and show folks just a little bit of this here, what I'm trying to depict. You see the black girl here, this black woman here. She got, of course, she got that bag on top of her head. Instead of her to, dress in attire that is appropriate, she's not doing that. She also is, dressed not so right. There's some folks over there too that ain't dressed right as well. You could see all this. Brother, what do you think about this? How come we don't see a bunch of white girls fighting like this all the time? Why is it always black, and how come they always dress ridiculously? You get what I'm saying? Brother, what do you think?
It's disgusting. I'll be honest with you, Jermaine. It's downright disgusting and ignorant. You see here, you see this, and the first thing these people want to sit here and claim they kangs and quangs. Oh, it's quangs. It's the quangs. Look at the quangs out here. First of all, they got that Jiffy Pop bag on their head, not showing the respect for themselves, okay? You got the Jiffy Pop bag on your head. Then you sitting up here acting like this in the store for what reason? Why? What was so bad you had to come to this girl's job to try to fight and jump on her? You got so many people always trying to say that it's always the white community keeping us down and the white community trying to put us in a bad light. That's the same lie they told about the media in the 1990s and the 80s who was covering the black criminal and trying to warn white people about black criminals. But people got mad and said, oh, y'all just racist. No, this isn't racism. Look at this. You should have a monkey sound out here fighting. And they trying to square up like dudes. Yep. Our black women are turning more masculine and the men are turning more feminine.
Yep.
They want men to be sitting up there with the hand on the hips, all like this and touching their sensitivity, and she up there squaring up like she a dude. What's wrong with these people? What's wrong with them?
I'm telling you, Jamal, what's wrong is the parenting, the home training. They ain't got good home training. You get what I'm saying, Jamal? They ain't got good home training at all. Back in the day, you act crazy like this, your daddy will tear up your backside. All right? You was scared to do stuff like this and put shame on your family. You get what I'm saying, Jamal?
Yeah.
But nowadays, because the father isn't there, and then also, Jamal, the family aspect, a lot of people don't have it. So they're able to do stuff like this. When you come from a good family, you respect your mama and your father, the last thing you want to do is bring shame to them. The last thing. But a lot of times, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just growing up with your mama, legacy is not a part of your thought process. When it comes to legacy, women don't think about legacy. I've never, all women, I've never heard them say, you know what, I think about legacy and what I'm going to pass down to my children. They don't think about that. That's why a lot of times they're running from relationships. They don't think about stuff like that. Men, we think about stuff like that. We think about legacy, what we're going to pass down to our children, what our last name represents. I was just telling my son the other day about our last name. I said, your mom's family is very nice, very cool, right? But none of them, they don't have a political last name like us. They don't have the background like we do. We have a certain background, son. We have a certain image that we want to portray. And it's up to you, son, to uphold that image. This is what we pass down as males to our children. And I want people to understand that. That's why I speak about family so much. And if you don't have that type of mindset, that thought process, let me tell you something. You're willing to disgrace your family for a bag of chips in a store. You're willing to disgrace your daddy's last name for a hair hat and some bubble gum. Let me tell you. Brother, last words on this, y'all.
You know what, Jermaine, you were saying that at one time, that's what men established. Men was worried about our legacy. When men sat there and we went to the battlefield, and even if you had a bad guy who was doing something, trying to take over, trying to get mines and everything, he was doing it for his legacy. One of the perfect examples of this, anybody ever watch the show Game of Thrones, which is based off the book Fire and Ice?
Oh, yep.
In the show Game of Thrones, what was Tyrion Lannister's whole thing with his daughter Jaime, all of them? What was the Lannister? What was his whole thing? His legacy.
Yep.
And he trying to pass a legacy. That's why he had let Joffrey, take over. But Tyrion always was looking for the legacy, and that's why he was gonna let one episode. Jaime, his son, told him, he says, "Okay, I will quit the Kingsguard for your legacy." And Tyrion said, "Okay, fine. I forgive your brother. Let your brother go join the Knights Night's Watch," and kept so whatever. But it was about legacy. How many shows about bad guys taking over? It was about legacy. Black folk, we don't care about legacy.
Nope.
We live for the moment, and living for the moment is the reason why we can't get nowhere. The black folk that are that have made it, because people have to understand. I'm gonna say this quick, Jermaine. People have to understand, even during segregation, Jim Crow, and all our things we went through after the Civil War and we was free, there were some black people who said, I'm gonna be legacy minded.
Yep.
I'm going to do things for the legacy. I'm going to build stuff up so my family will never have to go through what I went through. And those were the black people that were your store owners, your business owners, and your millionaires during our oppression. And the ones who didn't try to do a legacy was the ones marching, "We shall overcome."
Absolutely. It is very important. You're absolutely correct. You know, that's the main reason why we spend time speaking about stuff like this, because a lot of people don't understand the reason why this type of stuff happens. They're just saying, "Oh, well, these people just have a problem and they're just fine." No. It's a little bit more than that, because it's happening on a daily basis. It's happening in more than one area. So it's not an isolated incident. It's something that a lot of black people engage in, this type of behavior.
Yes.
So this is the type of behavior I like to call out so that people understand why it occurs and what we can do to stop it. And what we can do to stop it, ladies and gentlemen, is making sure that a lot of these children are being raised in good homes. Yes, in good homes. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Make sure you do share. All right. Make sure you do share. We have another one here for you. And we might catch a little hell for this. It's called Deadbeat Mama. I believe Angela Stanton, I believe that's what her name is. She's on this clip here. And she speaks about deadbeat mamas. You know, this term deadbeat, it came from the feminists. I want people to understand that. It came from the feminists. They hate men. They absolutely do. I've never ran into a guy, and I want the ladies to understand this. I've never ran into a guy that said, "Yeah, I had sex with a woman. I ran away from my baby. I had a baby with a woman and I ran away." I've never heard that. Right hand to God. And I speak it to all sorts of men. Rich men, poor men, men in the army, men in the armed forces. I've never, not once, heard that, "Hey, yeah, I just slept with her. I got her pregnant. I ran."
Nope.
Never, not once. You know what I hear, ladies? "Oh, she's making it so hard for me to be there, for me to be a father." This is what's going on. Happens all the time. And nobody speaks about it. That there is some sort of badge of honor to say that you're a single mom. Right? There's some sort of badge of honor there, you know. You get a medal, right? There's a lot of women who want to become a single mom. They have a great parent for their kid, right? The father's fantastic. He wants to be there. But you know, you get more sympathy, you get more attention, ain't that right, ladies? Attention, by saying that you're a single mama, when it's not even gosh darn true. I want to go ahead and run this story here. Actually, this viral clip deals with Angela Stanton speaking about deadbeat mamas and what a deadbeat mama is. When it comes back, I want to speak about it because a lot of people have stuff to say about what she said. A lot, let me tell you. Here we go. Make sure you do share. Here we go.
You the deadbeat, mama, not the daddy. You deaded the beat. You stopped the heartbeat. You're the deadbeat, not on the back. And they call the father the deadbeat. But you the deadbeat, mama, not the daddy. You deaded the beat. You stopped the heartbeat. You're the deadbeat, not the man, not the dad. So, I mean, at the same time, they want equal rights. Well, If a woman should be able to abort a baby when she doesn't want it,
Then the man should be able to walk away when
a
he
man
doesn't
should
want
be
it.
able to abandon the baby when he doesn't want it. And then we can be able to see how ridiculous all of this really actually sounds bad. And they call the father the deadbeat. But you the deadbeat, mama, not the daddy. You deaded the beat. You stopped the heartbeat. You're the deadbeat, not the man, not the dad. So, I mean, at the same time, they want equal rights. Well, if a woman should be able to abort a baby when she doesn't want it,
Then the man should be able to walk away when
a
he
man
doesn't
should
want
be
it.
able to abandon the baby when he doesn't want it. And then we can be able to see how ridiculous all of this really actually sounds.
Bow. How ridiculous it actually sounds. Brother, what do you think about this here?
Well, this is what a lot of men been saying for years. If we're gonna say women have a right to create a child and women have a right to take the child life, then men should have a right to abandon and walk away. Men should have a right to walk away.
Yup.
And far too often they don't allow men to walk.
They don't.
away.
They'll still
They
hit
want
you
to
up
chase us
financially.
down, lock us up, put us in jail, do everything you can do to show that man that you gonna take care of that child. You gonna take care of that child. Really? Am I? I got to take care of the child, but she ain't got no choice of who she slept with. She ain't taking no responsibility on that. The state, the government is always they baby dad. And I want to look up something while we talking, Jermain. And I'm gonna make sure I had the information before the end of the show because it was on a meme, and you're gonna be shocked when you hear it. But Jermain, this goes to the same thing. Women's quote unquote supposed to have a right to create the child. They supposed to be the ones who's supposed to create it. Okay. But men, we don't supposed to have no choice. We can't tell a woman you didn't create that child by yourself. It took me and you.
Yep.
We both laid down. If it won't consensual, then you got a right. But it was consensual. So why do you get the only say so in aborting?
Money. It come down to money. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, men's rights exist, right? The men's rights movement exists because they tired of stuff like this.
Yes.
Yeah. There's too many beta males lying to women and not being honest. I've said that for years. Right? I tell men to be honest all the time. You want to get more women in your life, be honest. Yeah, it will shock you, right? Yeah, women love to be lied to. That's something that I've noticed when I was first growing up. They love to be lied to.
They love it.
They absolutely love it. But let me tell you something. What they'll love more after they get emotionally flustered, after that goes away, the truth. They certainly do. And you will get better relationships. You'll have better conversations with women once you're honest with them, instead of you poo-pooing around them and BSing them, and when they're saying stuff that sounds crazy, you're going along with it, right? You men out there, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, you've gone on with plenty of women. They say stuff that sound bizarre and crazy, right? But you just trying to get them cookies. So you keep your mouth shut. Stop doing it. Stop doing stuff like that. I believe what Angela Stanton is saying is absolutely correct. I certainly do. I believe that once men have that choice without repercussion, where they could say, hey, you know what? You told me you were on birth control. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about out there, right? Yeah, you see how I'm smiling? Yeah, ladies, you know what I'm talking about, right? You know Jermain don't play around. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this. Hey, I'm on birth control. Yeah, you could go ahead and dump in me. I'm on birth control. Don't you worry. I'm on the pill. I'm on the shot. I'm on this, that, and the this, that, and the third, right? And you know what happens? This, that, and the third gosh darn fail. Absolutely fails. And then bingo bango, right? You hit with, hey, you know what? You know, something didn't come this month, and, you know, I know you didn't want a baby and stuff, but, you know, I'm getting a little older, and, you know, I want the baby, right? Yeah, so you put in a rock and a hard place. A guy that was just, you know, going out with you, having fun, it's turned into something else. And I think when men have that option where they say, hey, you know what, you're going to have to sign so that you can be responsible for the baby, women will stop all this BS. They'll stop it because no woman want to take care of a kid all by herself. None of them do. That's why they run to the government. But once a guy say, hey, I'm not going to take care of this baby if you have it, you know, the child ain't going to be born. Because I know women ain't going to do it. If there ain't no money, they ain't going to do it. So I think that needs to be discussed, and I think more men need to be honest. Stop worrying about the emotional backlash that most women will have. It's natural. It's natural for them to be, you know, flustered and stuff like that, but it will calm down. And once it calms down, they think clearly, then you have a better, you know, conversation and dialogue. Last words on this here, brother.
I'm going to tell you like this, Jermain. And if they really wanted to stop this, all they had to say is if a woman wanted to have an abortion and it's not married, you have to get a consent to both father and mother. And that would really wake women up about the man that they plan on having sex with.
Yep.
Because then let's say if that woman says, that man says, okay, I don't want to take care of the baby. That means she has to take care of it and no government assistance. You really want to stop it? Make it so if a woman wants to get an abortion, if it's not rape, then she has to get consent to the father as well. If that father says no, that means she gets to keep the baby. If she then turn out and has an abortion, then she's committed an act of murder and they lock her up. Put responsibility back in sex.
Yep.
And you will see women change. As long as there's no responsibility,
they ain't gonna do nothing.
Act and behave the way they do.
Absolutely. So Uncle Rastus, I'm gonna put out your comment because I see this comment a lot. Uncle Rastus says, if that's a thing, then men need to learn to use condoms anyway. Men need to use condoms, but also that should let you know that how evil the game is right now. That this type of thing is occurring. You know, a lot of ladies would like men to be dumb and retarded so that they can use you for money. And I want the men, I'm just honest, you know, I'm just very honest with it. They want you to be dumb and retarded and use you for money. That's why women go after the guys with money. Right? They look at Elon Musk. Look at the basketball and football players. They hop out of the bus. There's 10 women along with them. Actually, there's a viral clip right now. I should show it. It's a guy. He's a basketball player. He hopped out the bus. 3 white women circled him and said, hey, we want to have sex with ya. I kid you not. Viral clip. We want to have sex with you. 3 white women trying to tag team this black guy. So this type of stuff happens all the time. They go. Why do you think they're going after the guy? Why? Because he can tap dance and shoot a ball? No, because he got bread. He got money.
Yep.
So I don't play that game. I don't play, oh, let me go ahead and be naive game. I like to call it, like it is. And once we start doing that, you'll see women start behaving well, because a lot of them need to be put on notice of this type of BS that's going on. Now, not all behave in that manner. Not all. Let me tell you, there's fantastic women, especially in this crowd here. But let me tell you, the world is liberal, and so is majority of women. So you can take that how you want to. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Make sure you do share. Next one up. I want to speak to you guys about a transgender track athlete that is making some noise, pissing off a lot of folks right now. A.B. Hernandez, let me tell you, whooped a whole bunch of women in the preliminaries in this track event, and I want to go ahead and run this. When they come back, I want to speak about it. Make sure you guys share. I want to also give a shout out to a very, very beautiful woman, Yvette Romick, donated on Rumble. Let me go ahead and give you the customary sweetheart. So much here, and she writes here. What'd she write? 2 great men, 2 great dads. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Let's go ahead and move forward. Let me go ahead and run this, and when it comes back, we shall speak about it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. All right, here we go.
All right, here we go. That's a boy!
That guy said that's a boy.
All right, here we go. That's a boy! That's a boy! Damien, man!
I want to play it again.
All right, here we go.
Transgender.
That's a boy!
Killing it.
That's a boy!
And the family's so mad. You can hear it. When the guy is running, they're yelling, "That's a gosh darn boy." Brother, what do you think about this? So this A.B. Hernandez made national news, just killing it. Absolutely killing it. The parents of the school, they're absolutely upset. All right? They're called the Pacific Pirates or something like that. What do you think about this here, sir?
Oh, there's a pirate. They pirates. Because I made it. They stealing the booty. They are pirates. That's exactly what they are. They are absolutely pirates, Jermaine. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if that bar was for guys, he would have hit that bar every time. See, the reason why men, when they transgender to women, they're able to dominate women's sports because women's qualifications are set to what a woman can do. That R is good for a woman that's about 5'4", 5'5", 120, 130 pounds, and she trains and she barely clears the bar. That's a 6 foot boy. So to him, he can jump over there and Superman, and it's
Dive.
easy.
Yup.
So, and he's taking from women. And here is the thing about the concept of you keep feeding a crocodile until he eats you. I blame this on feminists and I blame this on women. The first time this came up, women should have said, no, this is a man. He has no business in our sports. They shouldn't even allowed it the first time. But women who wants to attack the patriarchy use these trans because men and the patriarchy are saying these are my daughters, keep this away. So these women allow these men to play their sports, and now men are dominating in track and field and women's track and field, beating the mess out of them in women boxing.
Yep, boxing especially.
Even women beauty contests. Women can't even win beauty contests no more. And all that man got to do is shave before the night before the beauty pageant and put some makeup around his 5 o'clock shadow, and they beating women even that way. That's bad.
It is. And those women who are winning beauty contests, they're winning through sympathy.
Men.
There's a lot of women are probably the easiest folks to trick. Don't get mad at me. I just call it like I see it. Ain't no way a female that is running around dressing like a guy can pass around guys. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ladies, I want you to understand, ain't no way. Why do you think the women don't do it? Even the women who transgender, the guys, they still hang out with other women. They don't hang out with guys. Because we are in what we call reality. We think logically, we're in reality. We're not led through emotion. And most men aren't tricked through emotion. They may be tricked through inaccurate logic, but through emotion, no way, no how. Females, they're easily tricked, and it's through emotion. That's why players exist. Ladies out there, right? Remember I told you you love lies? Yeah, remember I told you you love lies. That's why I said it's easy to trick you. Yeah. There need to be a national movement for women. We want the truth. Right? And you got to be able to handle the truth too. Besides wanting the truth, you got to be able to handle it. That's why people love to lie.
Yep.
They lie to women because women have the emotional backlash. The guys are pussies, right? They see the emotional backlash. They get scared, and then they be quiet, right? And they don't tell you the truth for fear of that emotional backlash. But guys like myself, we like to see the emotional backlash, right? Because it kind of make you look like, you're being possessed a little bit, right? You start
childish.
You start going like this, right? Look like you're doing a dance or something. Yeah, it's quite, let me tell you, interesting to see. Yeah, and once that dance get done and over with, right, then the reality come down, and then she start thinking logically. So a lot of this stuff here is because of the emotion. A lot of women out there are like, hey, if I was confused and I was a guy and I just wanted to be a woman, I would want people to just accept me, right? Yeah. That's the liberal mindset. Liberal mindset come from a female.
Yes.
You want to know what a liberal will do? You go and watch your mama. Yeah, watch how your mama behave, and that's what liberals do. And women out there, I'm just being honest. I'm just an honest guy. So that's why The trickery happens, and that's why this stuff persists, because there's a lot of women out there who think through emotion. They lead their life through emotion. And through that emotion comes the trickery and allowing this type of behavior to exist. So that's where I believe that most conservatives need to start speaking and being truthful. Because if you're truthful and you maintain your stance, this stuff will die down. But it can only persist if you allow the emotion to override the logic. Last words on this here, sir.
You know what, Jermaine? When it comes to things, people have always painted women as quote unquote the nurturers. They're supposed to be nurturers, and they supposed to think with their emotions. That's what separates men from women. Yes, it's understandable that women would allow this man to participate in the sport because they feel sorry for him. But it's the men who don't, because they know he's taking advantage.
Mm-hmm.
See, women seeing it as, oh, we need to feel bad. But a man is looking and is like, no, he's taking advantage.
Yep.
And women are trying to get in men roles with their feminine programming. It's like if I take your motorcycle, Jermaine, and I try to go through the mud like I would do with my Raptor because I want my motorcycle to behave as a Ford Raptor, it's going to have problems.
Mm-hmm.
But if I take my Ford Raptor and put it on a motorcycles track, but the climbing and stuff, I'll be more stable because I'm in a truck.
Yep.
See, when you take that motorcycle and you going around a curve and you leaning like this, it's a possibility you may slide.
Yep, true.
But if I'm doing that at the same speed in a Ford Raptor, I'm not going to fall to hit the ground. My truck going to go, you get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's what women have to understand.
Absolutely. And a lot of this would come to if we have good families. Once more again, you got a good father. Your father's in the home. Usually the father corrects a lot of the emotional delusion that a lot of women have. I call it emotional delusion. You have a father there. The father bring you back to reality. You get what I'm saying? The father tell you the truth. Your father will make it easier to accept criticism. That's what your father does. Women, you have a hard time accepting criticism, especially constructive criticism. Right? You just want to be told everything you're doing is absolutely all right. Which is not. Most of the time you're going to have to work hard, and when you work hard, some people are still going to say you still didn't do it well. That's the way that life is. So, that's what it is. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Next one up here. Let me go ahead and put this up. I want to speak to you guys about human trafficking. Viral video that is put out here. Got a lot of folks talking. This guy is carrying a lumber truck. A whole bunch of lumber on the truck, let me tell you. And something happens. He gets pulled over. Trooper starts looking. And let me tell you something. Gosh darn, it looked like a party. Let's go ahead and run it. When it come back, we shall discuss it. Here we go. Make sure you share.
What do they use these for? Do you know?
For the fence.
For the fences? Do you have anything illegal inside the vehicle?
Oh, no.
No, anything?
No.
Anything illegal inside the wood here?
No, sir.
Nothing at all? Okay. You give me consent to search the vehicle and everything inside of it. Morning.
Morning, sir. How are you doing today?
Good, sir. Yourself?
Good. Ready to work?
That's what I'm talking about. Turn around. Turn around. Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for human smuggling.
¿Está todos bien? Sí.
I think that's good, man. ¿Cuántos son? 5.
Chequense, todos bien, están todos bien de salud.
Let me stop it right here. So there you go. You see the folks laying down in the lumber truck. This is so inconspicuous. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This could be passing right beside you on the road and you would never know. You would absolutely never know. What do you think about this?
You know, I look, this was not an this wasn't just an officer checking. This was a snitch. Somebody told.
Somebody told, right?
That's too good, Jermain. Jermain, that is too good. The way they got that stuff boxed in.
Yeah.
The way they got the wood perfectly
aligned.
Perfectly aligned.
Mm-hmm.
Perfectly measured. Got them laying down. Now all the guy wants to do is just check the load. Somebody is, which is a good thing. Somebody told. Somebody said something. And this truck got caught. That's just not that. This is like the submarines to sneaking the cocaine in.
Yeah.
Somebody is telling when those subs leave when you're going to catch them.
Too.
Because if once that sub goes underwater, how you know to run out there with it? We got satellites, yeah, but not that good. Yep. Somebody is hitting a button, and when that button goes, it's searching. If you look at the way that truck is set up, you just don't jump up there and do that. Somebody said something.
Look how they got it set up so well too, Jamal. The gosh darn lumber is perfectly aligned, just like you said. Perfectly aligned. They got a nice little area, that they built inside the lumber where they sit there. I don't know if they, on their phone playing video games. I don't know what they're doing. But they sit in there, and they're coming in America like that, ladies and gentlemen. That's crazy. That's absolutely wild. Yeah. But that's what's going on, and liberals aren't speaking about it. They'll tell you that stuff like this is just, once in a blue moon. It's an isolated incident, but it's not at all. It's not isolated. These people aim to bring these folks in to destroy America. They certainly do. Now, I have another video to go along with this. A viral clip. It's of a Chinese woman who speaks about immigration. And let me tell you something, she's making a lot of sense, and I want people to hear it. Make sure you guys take a look. Take a second, hit that like button, and make sure you share. Here we go.
A 30-second lesson on immigration.
Well, I'm a legal immigrant. I came here right away. It took me 6.5 years to become citizen. My brother waited in China for 13 years to come here. It is a slap in the face to all the legal immigrants who are still waiting in line all over the world with American sponsors. Some of them have been waiting for over 10 years. What kind of message do we want to send to the world? If you follow the law, we're going to punish you. And if you come here illegally, we'll give you quick pass to citizenship. I support deport all the illegal aliens who committed crime immediately.
Democrat opponent. This Chinese immigrant gave her Democrat opponent a 30-second lesson on immigration.
One more time.
I'm a legal immigrant. I came here right away. It took me 6.5 years to become citizen. My brother waited in China for 13 years to come here. It is a slap in the face to all the legal immigrants who are still waiting in line all over the world with American sponsors. Some of them have been waiting for over 10 years. What kind of message do we want to send to the world? If you follow the law, we're going to punish you. And if you come here illegally, we'll give you quick pass to citizenship. I support deport all the illegal aliens who committed crime immediately.
Immediately. Let me go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna have to clap for that Asian woman. Let me tell y'all. Absolutely. We got to clap for her. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that's the type of message we need. That's the main reason why I said Republicans got to go and find legal immigrants and then use them for a campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what they need to do. But, you know, Republicans, they don't think outside the box. A lot of them are boomers who are boomer than, you know, they're older than boomers. Some of them are older than boomers, let me tell you. So that type of thinking don't come very fast. But let me tell you something. You get a lot of legal immigrants talking like this, that immigration stuff will go away. How much you want to bet?
Yes.
Ain't no liberals cannot speak to something like that. They cannot. And if they do, it's almost like suicide. Seriously, it's almost like suicide. So I think it's very, very, very good that, you know, she was able to do this and put the message out here. Last words on this here, brother.
You know what, Jermain? This woman, and we talked about this earlier, people should be out here who came here the legal way. Because if you paid your money to come here, you should wet everybody else. And when we was growing up in school, Jermain, and we was in kindergarten, we didn't let people jump line.
Yep, we didn't.
The teacher would tell you, we don't jump line. You have to wait your turn. So that should be told by the people who paid $1,500, $1,600, $12,000, $20,000 to become American citizens. No, you have to wait your turn to every illegal immigrant. Wait your turn.
Mm-hmm. You have to. Waiting your turn is something that needs to be pushed. Even in school, see, you be a fantastic politician, brother. Even in school, where nobody cuts line. The kids will start saying, "Hey, you cut line. Hey, teacher, he cut line." Right? Everybody will snitch on you.
Yep.
But it seemed like we lost common sense and decency. Now, I want to go ahead and address a comment here. Sent by a beautiful woman by the name of Teresa Cerna. Cerna. Says, hey, Jermain, why does a man want to act like a woman? I do agree. We need to hold our ground. Let me tell you something. It's very simple why a man wants to be a woman.
Women
First
have it
of all,
easier.
he's weak, and women, I don't know, I'm probably going to catch hell like I always do. You have it easier. Your life is a lot easier, especially the more prettier you are. Yeah, go and ask all the pretty ladies out there. Their life is easy. They got a man chasing behind them with a checkbook, and they got easier life. The uglier you are as a woman, the harder you have to work. Look at Jamal smiling. You better stop that. Yeah, I don't make this stuff up.
It's true.
I'm honest about it.
It's
the
true.
That look like they got a brick, look like they got a dog face and stuff like that. They working hard. Let me tell ya. But the pretty ones, people are trying to do stuff for them. That's the way the world is.
That's the way the world has worked since the beginning of time.
Yeah, but besides that, getting back to the confused guy. The confused guy understands the way the world works. He understands as a male, he ain't that strong. As a male, he ain't that smart. He don't got enough influence. He don't got enough money. But you know what? If he, pussifies himself a little bit, he acts like a woman, he knows that he can get a leg up, right? He can, women, you have what we call, emotional discontent for what's going on in the world here. So with that emotional discontent comes legislation, right? And the weak guy knows that he can adopt that, right? Yeah, he can adopt that through the legislation, through the women. The women are getting all sorts of rights. Transgender guys saying, hey, if these women are getting rights and these rights look like, they trample or they, in a sense, are ahead of what men are doing, gosh darn, I want to be a woman, right? A woman can go ahead and lie about rape, right? She can lie about abuse. Women out there, you know what I'm talking about. When you get out of a relationship, right? There's a lot of women out there. It seems to be a trend, right? Because you can't paint the guy as a physical abuser, they came up with a new word, emotional abuse, right?
Yeah,
it's saying something that somebody don't want to hear. That's emotional abuse. Women have used it. They have cornered the market on it. So, and the word narcissist, right? Yeah, narcissist and emotional abuse. So every guy they go out with is a emotional abuser or a narcissist, right? So she's able to say that, and she gets sympathy. She gets, quote unquote, attention, perceived love, and she elevates, quote unquote, in life in a sense. That's exactly what they want. They want that. And it's incumbent on women to understand your position in life. You were put in this position, in a sense, on a pedestal because men back in the day understood your virtue. We wanted to protect your virtue. That's why we put you on a pedestal. Nowadays, women's virtue is gone. They're doing OnlyFans. You can see a woman down the street that you know trying to sell her feet and her breast pics online.
And making millions.
So how much virtue, how much, bending over, how much stuff, being nice to them are you going to do? Not much. Because the virtuousness is gone. But that's what it is. So I wanted to go in and address that. I think that was very important. Let's go ahead and move forward here. I want to speak to you guys about what the House Democrats are doing right now. Oh, yeah, the House Democrats, they're back at it again. They are. They have joined forces with some evil Republicans. and they're forcing a vote on impeachment while the president is out of the country. Let me go ahead and run this when I come back. I want to speak about it. Here we go.
There's a Democrat moving forward with this resolution to impeach President Trump as well.
Yeah, and that resolution doesn't look like it has the buy-in even from his fellow Democrats. So this member of Congress has put this resolution on the floor. He's a House Democrat, Sheridan Lander. He has put it on the floor. It will be tabled most likely in a vote tonight because Democratic leadership have signaled that they will join Republicans, and Democratic members of the House will as well, to table this motion to impeach President Trump. It doesn't have the support of House Democratic leadership, but it is a resolution that this individual member says is a long time coming, and frankly, he promises to continue to bring it up over and over and over again based on what he says are the objections he has with this administration and President Trump. But again, House Leader Hakeem Jeffries of the Democrats, as well as other House members of Democratic leadership,
Hakeem Jeffries is a wild one, let me tell you. That brother wild.
All right, we're going to try and keep up with you, Joe.
He
Brian on the Hill, a
recognized
lot
what's
happening.
written on
Thank
the
you.
wall.
Yep. Bow. So, brother, what do you think? Hakeem Jeffries is, one of the co-authors of this resolution. They trying to get the president out again. They're doing the same nonsense. Instead of them to be worried about the crime in this country, the illegal immigration, the war that is, happening across the world and at our doorstep, these people, they're worried about trying to kick out the president. They want him gone, erased. What do you think?
Isn't it funny that dude you just showed on the congressman that was walking? Don't he look like Tiger Woods with a bad toupee?
He do.
Don't dude look like Tiger Woods?
Yeah, he do.
With a bad
There's
toupee.
a Democrat moving forward.
Like he's trying, got a white boy toupee.
And
he
then
looks
he got
just
a
like
let me go
Woods.
back. He looked like Tiger Woods with a bad toupee and in an oversized suit. You get what I'm saying? That suit don't fit him very well. He got to go back to the tailor. Go ahead, brother.
But I do believe the Republicans in the Senate would do what Chuck Schumer did when they impeached Mayorkas. What they did said up and down vote to do it. Down, and they threw out the impeachment. Never been done before. So why don't we, if the Democrats, of course they didn't have it, and I gotta admit, the Democrats is like, no, don't do it. Well, because they feel this isn't the right time because Donald Trump got all these victories. The Democrats ain't stupid. They got some old heads that's like, how you gonna impeach this man? He just went to Saudi Arabia about 600 billion. He just sitting up here going around the world getting peace, and you gonna try to impeach him? You are basically saying that the Democrat Party is out of control. Do whatever you can to beat Trump, to get rid of Trump. But Trump beat us when it mattered. November 6, 2024. That's when he beat the Democrats. And the Democrats are still trying to have a rematch, or I won't get back. I won't get back. The election is over. And people recognize Joe Biden before Jake Tapper came out with his book was deteriorating. Looked like he's suffering from dementia.
Absolutely.
People saw that. So this is just the Democrats' attempt to show that they're fighting. And the older Democrats are like, okay, this AOC wing is going to push independence away.
Mm-hmm. And I think you're correct. I think the older Democrats, the classical liberals, I think that they're going to be running away from this party. And the reason why I say that is because their morals don't align with them anymore. You get what I'm saying? These people are more about hate and hatred for Donald Trump than unity and making sure that we are a very safe, secure, sovereign nation. They have it's almost as if, and I hate to say it, it's almost as if the Democrats are like a bad girlfriend, a bad ex-girlfriend. You know, you break up with a female, and then all of a sudden, you know, she just can't get you out of her mind. Everywhere you go, she's talking bad about you. You get what I'm saying? That's how the Democrats are. They're like bad girlfriend, bad rash. Won't just shut up and go away. Go live your life. You know, they don't want to go live their life. They want to keep doing this. And what it's going to do is it's going to turn off a lot of folks, I believe. There's going to be some Democrats who are just staunch Democrats. They don't care if Satan came down and slaughtered everybody. They still vote Democrat. But there's folks who are on the side, the independents, the swing, quote-unquote swing voters. Those are the people who are going to use common sense. They're going to take a step back and look at the terrain and see, you know what? The Democrats, what they're doing is a little rocky over here. You know, they're doing stuff that doesn't look too good. I'm gonna stay over here on the smooth side. And I think that's what will be going on forward. I believe that the Democrats will fade. They'll be like the Whig Party. They'll fade into history because of their behavior, their refusal, ladies and gentlemen, to accept reality. They absolutely refuse. And I don't say this very lightly. They refuse. And you can see by the stuff they even say, they're even at odds with the way we perceive, in a sense, reality. I want folks to understand that. The liberals are at odds with us when it comes to that. So that's a big deal there. Last words on this here, sir.
You know, Democrats are going to not stop because this is what half of their base wants. They don't care being lied to. Here is the dangerous things what people have to understand that Democrat politicians should be held responsible for too. When Barack Obama was president, Republicans did not impeach him.
Nope.
When Joe Biden was president,
we could have impeached
Republicans didn't impeach him. Republicans should say enough's enough. The next Democrat president is going to get impeached just because he's a Democrat president. Jakeem, if the Democrats want to go, this is how they want to fight. I'm sick and tired of Republicans acting like they the kids that listen to the school teacher. You know, when you was going to school, Jermain, and you got that kid that was picking on you and messing with you, and you did something back to him. Don't you do nothing back to him, Jermain. Tell me, the teacher, and I'll handle it. And he didn't stop. But when you in the mouth, he stopped. Republicans keep trying to go to the American people and tell them, look what the Democrats is doing. But the American people are them old-fashioned teachers. Well, slap them in the mouth then.
Yep.
Stop telling everything. Go handle it.
They need to fight. That's basically what it comes down to. They need to fight.
Yes.
Once Republicans start doing the things that the Democrats are doing, they'll stop. They'll stop doing stuff like this. You know, it's absolutely evil. It is. But they don't see America like the way we see America. And they don't have an outlook like the way we have our outlook. And I want folks to understand something here. It's almost like we're at war. We
are at war.
Yeah, you know, I don't like, you know, war is a powerful word for me. War is, you know, and it's like we're kind of at war with them. You know, there's not too many things we agree on. You get what I'm saying? There's not. You know, and then on top of that, there is a very, very stark and distinct difference when it comes to the way we handle beef. Okay? They're nasty, vile, rude. I want folks to understand it. That's the way Democrats behave. Nasty, vile, rude. They'll make up lies.
They play to win.
They play to destroy us.
Yes.
Have you, and I put it in terms like this. Have you ever gone out with a person, you had a relationship with a person, the relationship didn't work out, and you say, oh, okay, well, it just didn't work out, God bless you, you go on your way, I go on my way, but that person doesn't want you to go on your way. You're still intact. They hate you because it didn't work out, and they couldn't have you. So you know what they do? Instead of letting you go on your merry way, they start advertising and putting out lies about you, trying to destroy your character, trying to destroy you. And that's what we call a Democrat. Tell me I told a lie, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly their behavior. And when you have behavior like that, you cannot be nice to folks like that.
Nope.
You cannot. They've showed their hand too many times. Don't be stupid. Play accordingly. Let's go ahead and move forward. Next one up. I want to speak to you guys about Trump in South Africa. Liberals absolutely hate him. The liberals absolutely hate Donald Trump and this South Africa deal right now. I kid you not, they absolutely hate him. I want to go ahead and run this clip when they come back. I want to speak about it because this South African deal is more than the refugees. There's a message behind here, and Republicans better get on the ball with this message. Let me go ahead and run it. Here we go. Make sure you share. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. Also, I want to give a shout out to two folks who donated last week. Very beautiful woman by the name of Kristen Walker donated. So as John Lennon and Jesse Loken, I believe, donated as well. So shout out to them. Absolutely. Let me go ahead and give you guys your customaries. Absolutely. So I want to make sure that they get what is just. Let me go ahead and run this one and come back. We shall discuss it. Make sure you share. Here we go.
It's not every day that news cameras are here to watch passengers disembark, but this is an unusual sight in the U.S. People labeled refugees being welcomed in the United States.
Welcome!
Also unusual, deputy secretaries from the State Department and the Department of Homeland Security here to greet them.
My wife came from Iran, same thing, persecution from Christianity, and she's come here.
It's the persecution part that some people are questioning. These are 49 white South Africans, a group that U.S. President Donald Trump has insisted, against all the evidence, is subjected to racial discrimination and even violence, a charge the South African government disputes.
There is no any form of persecution to white South Africans or to African South Africans, and we are glad that a number of organizations, even from Afrikaner structures, have denounced this so-called persecution.
These are people who were not living in refugee camps. They hadn't fled their country. They were the group that was most associated with the oppression of the black majority through the apartheid regime.
Their arrival comes as the Trump administration blocks refugees previously approved to come in. Asked why these South Africans are different, this is the official answer.
Some of the criteria are making sure that refugees did not pose any challenge to our national security and that they could be assimilated easily into our country.
A handful of protesters at the airport called out the move as racially motivated.
The Afghans, even Afghans with SIVs, they're not paying for flights for them. They're not paying for resettlement for them.
They come over here and bomb the country.
Because they have the actual visa in hand. They can get here, but they're not doing anything for them.
The Trump administration has basically frozen all money to help refugees in the United States. That didn't apply in this case. The United States paid for the private plane that brought them here. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera, Dulles International Airport.
Wow.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.
They got a fine-looking black woman with her own, but that's probably a hair hat. Let me stop.
Hair hat.
Brother. So Democrats are upset. They're angry that Trump brought these Africans over. They're whites. One of the criteria the guy said, which really stuck out to me, and you pointed it out, was the assimilation theory. All right, what happens with the Democrats when they go ahead and they look for refugees? The refugees come in and they're coming from areas where they hate America, first of all. And then when they come, the people retain their own culture.
Yep.
Right? They don't have any ambition to go and learn English, right? So that's why in a lot of our urban cities, we have like a Chinatown, right? We have a Somali town. We have all sorts of different ethnic towns. And the reason why that is because the people who immigrated there, they were so lazy, and a lot of them are, have low education, that they don't even go to learn how to speak well, speak English, learning our laws. You get what I'm saying? Learn how to proceed like America. They don't even do that. And in turn, I believe that promotes a lot of American hate. Brother, what do you say to this here about Americans out there who have an issue with this? Go ahead.
Well, Jermain, I'm going to tell you just like this. Assimilation. That's the key. People want people to come to America who can fit in, who can pick up our customs and keep going. That's number one. Number two, we have flooded America trying to brown it down. It feels good to whiten it up with some people who got some experience and know what they're doing.
Gosh darn crime, I could tell you that.
And also, Jermain, hearing that African guy say, what are they talking about? There is no genocide here.
He's playing games.
Everything is going good.
He's playing games.
How would people feel when Saddam Hussein was like, nobody want to leave Iraq, everybody's happy? Kim Jong-un, everybody likes here in North Korea. China, everybody like a here in China. They like a here in China. Vladimir Putin, who asked Karsten Bar. People who are vicious and doing things to their people will always go on TV and say, everybody like it here. But if you got whites who are fleeing and you have in a big football stadium, matter of fact, Jermain, I'm going to show this, and this is literally what people talking about. This is what they did.
Oh, wow. Africa facing genocide is ending decades-long partnership with the U.S. government on refugee settlement. Look at that. They oppose white South Africans facing genocide.
All those crosses you see on the road, Jermain, is for all the dead white farmers that have been died. That's a memorial to them. So this is real. I had the video of him saying them in a football stadium, Jermain. It is packed, and they're screaming, "Kill the boy." Literally, and they're talking about white farmers. These people aren't lying about this happening. It's happening. It is real. It is 100% real. They are doing their best to eliminate Afrikaners. Because why? Because white in their country, just like white liberals, are encouraging this.
Yep, they
and
are actually
pushing it. Oh, there's no such thing as genocide. People, they're just mad because the power structure don't go their way no more. Has nothing about dealing with the power structure that way. It's not. They're being slaughtered, and they took their guns. See, they gun confiscation. What comes out the gun confiscation?
And brother, to tell you the truth, it should be a God's strong warning. Imagine if America was like that. If black folks, they would do the same thing here in America.
Yes.
So that's why I'm very honest about the stuff that we speak about here. I'm very honest about it. You know, the Africans, the South Africans, they are killing the white Africans in that country. You know, colonialism over there didn't work well. There's other African countries who have white Africans in there, and they're not doing that, and they've been colonized as well. Most of Africa has been colonized by Europeans. I want people to understand that. And there's plenty of white Africans in Africa. Plenty of them, millions.
Yes.
In South Africa, that's the worst place to be a white African. Worst place. They're not going to treat you well, and they're going to kill you. They'll literally chase you to the sea. I said that actually last year, the year after that. I said when all this stuff started happening, I said, yeah, they literally were putting out videos of chasing white Africans to the sea. So I don't make this stuff up. I want to go ahead and show you guys this video here. Trump prioritizes white South Africans. I want you guys to see what people are saying here. Here we go.
Every client that comes in here, that's what they talked about.
At Spy Salon, a beauty spot in Mid-City.
Nothing surprises me.
The talk of the day is President Trump's decision to grant refugee status to white South Africans.
His hypocrisy mixed with a nice cup of racism. I think it's very unfair that he wants to deport other people, but you want to bring in other people. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Welcome to the United States of America.
When asked by reporters why this group is being welcomed, while others from conflict zones like Sudan and the Congo are turned away, President Trump responded with this.
It's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about, but it's a terrible thing that's taking place, and farmers are being killed. They happen to be white.
There is no genocide going on against white people in South Africa.
Nana Jumphy is the executive director of the Black Alliance for Just Immigration. She
Black
says
Alliance
some
for
South
Just
Africans
Immigration.
may be
Boy,
to adjust to the
they come up with
since the
all
end of
sorts of
apartheid. But she,
gosh-darn
along
groups.
with the South African government, denies that white people are being persecuted.
No, they can no longer enslave Africans and enjoy their life in the way that they did during the apartheid, era. But that doesn't mean that they're being killed. That doesn't mean that they qualify for refugee status.
Comes a time when you realize that everything President Trump does is going to be roundly criticized by the usual suspects.
Roxanne Hogue is the chair of the Los Angeles Republican Party. She defends President Trump's decision to grant refugee status to white South Africans.
It turns out that immigration is the purview of the federal government, and President Trump is the chief executive of the federal government. So he's doing what he thinks is best for Americans.
If Kehinde Olulade, a Nigerian immigrant and owner of Spy Salon, could speak directly with President Trump, this is what she would say.
Tell him to be kind to everyone, regardless of the skin color.
Oh, Lord.
Regardless of if they're disabled, regardless of if they have.
They got to stop interviewing blacks.
Reportedly,
I'm tired of hearing about racism. Brother, what do you think about this? So, good news in L.A. Good night, L.A. They went and spoke to some black women at a salon. Gosh darn, you know where this is going, right? Mm-hmm. So the black women are saying that they don't understand how he's going to kick out one group of immigrants and allow other immigrants to come in, and they're saying it seems kind of racist. All the little color phrases, and then of course the women they're on the emotional tip. Oh, he has to treat everybody, everybody black, brown, all with respect and hold on. What do you think,
Jermain? This is why Donald Trump said he's allowing them in. Take a look at this.
Oh, wow. Our land.
Kill the boer and the farmer. That's what he said. Donald Trump spoke out. See, usually Republican politicians are silent when whites are being attacked. Well, we just want fairness. Some things just are going on. Donald Trump stood on that podium and said, whites are being murdered. Regardless of who it is, he would stop it. But he let it be known, white people can be oppressed. White people can be murdered.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he did. President Trump said, come to America where you will be safe. And I thank President Trump for doing that. Donald Trump showed the world we will not be a liberal state who just do liberal, and then it's just the way it is. I'm glad he did that. Absolutely. And I'm glad people are pushing back.
Absolutely. And I want to go, since you're speaking about Trump and him, standing behind this here, I want people to see what Donald Trump is saying here. Trump defends his decision to welcome the Afrikaans. Take a look.
Refugees. I want to ask you about South African refugees. Dozens of Afrikaners who claim discrimination in their home country are heading to the United States, right, where your administration is going to welcome them as refugees. Now, this comes as you've halted virtually all refugee admissions for people fleeing famine and war from countries like Sudan, the Democratic Republic of Congo. Why are you creating an expedited path into the country for Afrikaners but not others?
Because they're being killed, and we don't want to see people be killed. Now, South Africa leadership is coming to see me, I understand, sometime next week. But it's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about. But it's a terrible thing that's taking place. And farmers are being killed. They happen to be white. But whether they're white or black makes no difference to me. But white farmers are being brutally killed, and their land is being confiscated in South Africa. And the newspapers and the media, television media, doesn't even talk about it. If it were the other way around, they'd talk about it. That would be the only story they'd talk about. And I don't care who they are. I don't care about their race, their color. I don't care about their height, their weight. I don't care about anything. I just know that what's happening is terrible. I have people that live in South Africa. They say it's a terrible situation taking place. So we've essentially extended citizenship to those people to escape from that violence and come here. Yeah.
Bow. So it's very simple. Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, very, very simple. He let them in because, it's a genocide. They're being killed. Very simple. Now, Jamal, last words on this here, and I got a quick question for you on this. How come Democrats don't see the hypocrisy in what they're doing with this?
Because Democrats are woke in hypocrisy. They're so used to it. Here's the thing. The whole Democrat argument, the Democrat existence is hypocrisy. That's their whole existence, is hypocrisy. They don't care about winning arguments based on facts. They care about just doing whatever it takes to stop Republicans. Lie, cheat, steal, whatever. And Republicans, well, we got to do something. We got to push back. How do we convince the Democrat voters that we're not bad? Screw them. Yep. Your job is to fight. And y'all aren't fighting.
Y'all ain't fine at all. Let me tell you.
We want you to fight.
Brother, let me tell you something. That is our show for tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming on in, hanging out with us, hitting that like button, and sharing. Absolutely. Absolutely. I also like to apologize for being late this evening here. We were about 10 minutes late, and I put that on myself. I was trying to make sure the mic was sounding quite well for you. All right. Any last words for our beautiful, beautiful crowd here, sir?
Thank you all for coming out tonight. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. We appreciate you guys coming out. Please, if you can, like, share. Support the page. Support both of us. And whether or not if it's 5 or 10, whatever you can do, what's on your heart. Please, you watched the show. You didn't see us during the whole show. Give. No, you saw us at the beginning of the show when people gave. We was grateful. Now it's at the end of the show. How did you like the show? Thank us by liking and sharing. Thank us by going to each one of our pages and subscribe.
Absolutely.
Or just say, hey, here go y'all Cash App, here go y'all PayPal, here go $5 or $10 for lunch, or $5, $10 to help out with your pages. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely. I want to thank you so much for coming on in here, Jamal. We really do appreciate you and everything that you have to say. I just want to make sure that you know that. Also, I'd like to thank everybody and their mamas for coming out as well, hitting that like button and sharing. Let me tell you something. That is something that is very, very important. More than anything is the sharing, because that gets stuff out. That gets us seen, and that also helps the message get around, ladies and gentlemen. So please, oh please, oh please, if all you could do is share, I mean, that is the best thing you can do. Best thing you can do. So without taking too much time, I'd like to thank you guys all for coming out, hanging out with us. I will be on tomorrow night. I have some other things to discuss, some good things. So make sure you guys come and hang out with us. I'm sure Jamal will be streaming as well tomorrow. Brother, Once more again, I thank you. Thank you so much. And you guys take care. Have a very, very beautiful night. And we'll catch you guys here later with another edition of Double Barrel J's Wednesday Conservative Nation. You guys take care. Love you. And goodbye. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.